Hi, I'm Infinity Moonchild, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things that I incorporated into my life to heal my life and to heal my body from the inside out. No more asthma, no more fibroid tumors, gone. Stick around to the end of this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So, the first one I want to discuss is self-compassion. Self-compassion. When I think of self-compassion, it's being compassionate with myself, obviously, right? And how do we do that? By forgiving ourselves for whatever it is that we may be holding ourselves hostage with. A situation of maybe a choice that we felt like we could have made that was better. A lot of times, it's about treating yourself as kind as you would someone else. There are times where we can really muster up this kindness, this facade for other people. But when it comes to ourselves, it's the negative talk. It's the beating ourselves up that is not showing ourselves compassion. So also, taking time out for yourself is really showing yourself compassion, right? Really like taking the time that you need. So for example, for me, in the mornings, I take time for myself. That's how I can just set myself up for a really good day, to be compassionate to myself, to honor the time that I have, and to make better choices throughout my day. Also, when it comes to self-compassion, I think of past experiences that when we ignore them or try to push them aside or tuck them under the rug, we don't give ourselves the compassion to forgive ourselves. So by facing these things, facing any issue that you may have experienced in the past that may bring guilt or shame, you have to find compassion for yourself and forgive yourself, or those things will eventually manifest into physical ailments. So, for example, I, in the past, had some issues with fibroid tumors in my womb. I had 2, and I had surgery to have them removed, and then later found out that I had another one growing. And at that time, I also discovered the book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And she has lots of different ailments in that book and breaks them down and talks about how these things have come to be in our bodies. And a lot of times it has to do with guilt or shame or resentment or different things like that, unforgiveness. And when I read that, I believe fibroids was like still holding hurt from a past lover or a past relationship. And I really thought about that. And I thought, wow, I guess, let me think about that. Are there some situations here that I have not released, that I have not let go, that are still being harbored in my womb, that's causing issues, causing physical issues in my body? So then I started to develop some self-care routine, and self-compassion and forgiveness was on the top of that list. Forgiving not only past lovers that I felt, weren't the greatest, let's just say that, or relationships that went sour, that didn't work out. But it really helped me to dig deeper and actually realize that there was some forgiveness that I had to do for me, that I had to literally forgive myself. And I realized that there were people that I was forgiving a lot easier than I was forgiving myself. I was harder on myself for some of my choices. So Self-compassion really can bring in energy and raise your frequency to heal you from the inside out. And that last fibroid that I had, and I'll say had, it shrunk. It shrunk and it got smaller and smaller and smaller. And then when I was checked every time after that and giving birth to all my children, they couldn't even find it. It was gone. I released it from my body because I released that energy from my body. I raised my frequency. So my womb was healthy and I could have children. I never had to have any more fibroid surgeries ever again. I've never had a fibroid since. And I had 3 children after that in my late 30s and early 40s. So it works and it will heal you from the inside out, but you have to do some work. Okay, let's move on. Number 2, self-care. Seems kind of general, but there are some things, right? There's journaling that is in your self-care, to really take some time to work through maybe things that are going on in that monkey mind, thoughts, things that you need to get out of here that might be like consuming your thoughts, and get it down on paper or write it out in your journal. Get it out and rip it out of your journal and set it on fire. Whatever it is that you need to do to care for yourself and to release yourself from pressure and things. Also exercise, move in your body, and really tune into what exercises work for you. I used to want to work out super hard and do Insanity and P90X and all those things, which are great. They work. But as I tuned in more with my spiritual awakening and tuning into the frequency of what works best for me, yoga and stretching, going for walks, going for hikes, things that didn't feel like exercise. They just felt like pleasure, like places that I enjoy, things that I enjoy doing, that I can also move my body, dancing, jumping on the trampoline with my kids, swimming, being out in nature, breath work. That really is a way of caring for yourself, and also nourishing your body. Nourishing my body consisted of changing and no longer eating meat products, and going full on vegetarian and vegan. I like to be vegan most of the time, but there are times where I will have a little cheese here. But that's about it, really. Or maybe have, no, I don't drink cow milk anymore either. So, mostly vegan, but then sometimes if I have some cheese. But I found that as I was ingesting more plants, truly plants, and not the fake stuff, but real plants and vegetables, fruits, that those plants grow and thrive from sun, from light. So as I consumed more light, I lightened up my vibration. It raised my frequency, which then I gave my body the nutrition and that it needed to heal things within me, to release inflammation and any other types of issues that could be going on in our bodies. So I always think about the Garden of Eden and having heaven on earth, and realizing that the Garden of Eden was heaven on earth, was created with those plants. They basically had everything they need, and we do too. If we are tuning into our land and planting and having gardens and growing fruit trees, we can work with the earth to have life food, vibrationally raised light food that will feed us, feed our minds, feed our bodies, feed our souls. Okay? Number 3, setting boundaries. This is a big one. Sometimes you have to learn to say no. Sometimes you have to say no so you don't overcommit, and then you have to apologize because you couldn't do what you said you could do. So learning to say no, recognizing when you are on the verge of burnout, and know that, okay, I have to regroup, and I have to understand that I'm about to burn out and this is going to be bad, and then I won't have anything for myself or anybody else. So setting boundaries in the mornings. I tell you, I have like a routine, and the boundary for me that I set with having 3 children and go is that waking up in the morning and taking that time for myself. I set that boundary. If my kids get up early and I'm like, you have to give mommy some time, she needs to go outside and commune with nature. She needs to put her feet in the grass. She gets to, not needs to, she gets to, in order to live in a space of a higher vibration. And it's going to benefit the kids too, I guarantee you, or your partner, or whoever you come across. Set those boundaries. Create a good start to your day, right? Okay, number 4, be present. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Being present in this very moment keeps you in that space of right now. Not what happened 10, 25 years ago or even a day ago, but what is going on in this space right now. Living in the present moment. Being here right now is going to help tremendously with anxiety, with depression, with all of the things. If you can get yourself in a space of just being present. Meditation. And meditation doesn't mean you have to just sit still and, I mean, that's really that is what you want to strive for. But being in the garden for me, pulling weeds, I find myself when I need to release energy, if there's some frustration that I'm feeling, I go out to the garden and I pull weeds, as if I'm pulling that out of my existence, out of my space, out, moving it out. And as an energy worker, I understand the benefit, the healing power of moving and clearing energy, moving it out and surrendering to this space right now, being present right here, right now. Breath work and grounding really, really, really is good at helping you be present in that moment right here, right now. Breathing. Taking note of exactly where your breath is makes you consciously aware of where you are, of tuning into the vibration of you. Present. It's literally a present. It's a gift. It's a gift to tune into this life that we have, into this moment. After, a lot of people transitioning, you really, really have a new appreciation for this present, this gift of life. I know I do. Okay, and number 5, positive affirmations and self-love rituals. Okay, positive affirmations. Affirmations are, I call it, you're just literally speaking love into yourself. You're speaking it into your body. you're speaking it into your body. You can also, there's so much power in the tongue. You can speak out, you can spew venom, and you can curse people with the words that you say. And you can also do it to yourself by speaking to yourself in a negative way. But by incorporating self-love rituals and affirmations, you're rewiring the negative thoughts in your body, in your mind, that come out of your mouth. And you also rewire what's going on inside of you. Different thought patterns, you let them go. They're not even a part of your world anymore, as you are consciously aware of the things that you say. For example, I have a coach, and he reminded us that we get to do lovely things for our business, for our lives. Not that we have to. I have to do this. The energy of that just even feels heavy. But when I say I get to, also my partner, he reminded me, and we have incorporated that in our self-love rituals and affirmations of not I want that, but that I desire that. Desire feels so much better. Ooh, I desire that. That feels good. That feels good to me. But when you're saying how much you want things, you put yourself in a space of wanting, of needing, as opposed to desiring and creating and dreaming it and manifesting it. It's the key to manifesting. Speaking love on your body. Healing your body. Now, for instance, I spent a lot of time doing mirror work after having children, and really focusing in and not looking at my body as, all the things. But really consciously speaking love onto my body. Thanking my breasts for the milk that they provided my children. Thanking my body. Thanking my womb for holding my children so safe within me. Thank you to my body for doing everything that it already knew how to do. That all I had to do was just sit back and allow it to do what it already knew how to do. And to feed it the things that it needed to perform the best it could. And healing your body from the inside out. It really works. It really works. After growing up, I grew up as a asthmatic child, and I was in the hospital a lot. I spent a lot of time in the hospital. Breathing treatments, steroids, medications, inhalers, you name it. And eventually, later on, I had an asthma attack, some issues with breathing again, and I spoke with the doctor, and he was going to put me on some pill forever. And I said, so you basically, I'd have to take this forever? He said, well, as long as you're having this issue. And that right then, and this was actually right before I had my spiritual awakening in 2011. And after coming back from Tokyo, having that awakening, tuning into a different frequency and deciding enough is enough, that I'm going to take charge and start creating new things for my life, I tuned into my breath. I got into breath work. I started to actually recognize in a yoga class when we started to slow our breath down and be aware of our breath. That was the first time I thought, wow, I have control over this. I have control over my breath. I can choose. I can choose what this is going to be for me. I can tune in to the energy of my breath, and I can slow it down, and I can breathe. And as I started to do that, asthma attacks, anxiety, breath, the feeling like everything was tight and that I couldn't breathe was gone, was going away. And when I could feel it come up, I stopped became present in that very moment. Took deep belly breaths right in my belly, not the chest breaths that would eventually become asthma attacks, but like stopped, took in the air in my belly and slowed it way down. An audible exhale. And then I started to get into box breathing and things like that. We could talk about that in a different episode. But these became self-love rituals for me that I knew were healing me from the inside out. That dis-ease didn't have to be a part of my life anymore, and it doesn't have to be a part of yours either. We can heal our lives. I truly believe that. When I read that book from Louise Hay, I knew right away that was the book that was going to change my life. And it did. I'm going to put that book either in the comments or somewhere on this video, and you can check it out and see how that may be of help to you. Maybe it could change your thinking. I know it will. I know it'll change your thinking about what dis-ease is and how it manifests in our bodies and how we can then take control of our bodies and make changes and heal from the inside out. Okay? Thank you for tuning in with me today. This has been lovely. I can feel the energy of that of 8-8 of Lionsgate. It is so fierce, and it's so vibrant, and we're manifesting lovely things. I know that we are shifting into a different consciousness, a higher consciousness, a higher vibration here. So thank you for tuning in to this vibe with me. And like and subscribe, send me a comment, shoot me questions, whatever you have that's on your heart. And thank you again for tuning in with me. Peace.